This episode is sponsored by Petra Kolp. Hello and welcome back to Film Pro Productivity and Success, the podcast that helps creative people to live a more focused, effective and happy life. My name is Carter Ferguson and this is episode 135. 3 new Demi Demi motivational messages. Don't wait until everything is just right. It will never be perfect. There will always be challenges, obstacles, and less than perfect conditions. So what? Get started now. With each step you take, you will go stronger and stronger, more and more skilled, more and more self-confident, and more successful. Mark Victor Hansen, unquote. So hello, folks. How are you doing? And welcome back once again, as I said in the intro, to Film Pro Productivity and Success. I really do appreciate you giving me your time and your energy and listening to the show each week and possibly learning a little something from the show every now and again too as well. And in last week's show, I looked at how to give and take advice, which is not something everyone is particularly good at doing. And I also delivered 12 pieces of the best advice that listeners and social media followers have ever heard and that they presented to me. So go back and have a listen if you think that's something you could learn from. But in the meantime, let's crack on with 3 more lessons from internet and TikTok sensation, Demi Demi. No matter how many mistakes you make or how slow you progress, you're still way ahead of everyone who isn't trying. Tony Robbins, unquote. Now, those of you who've not heard a Demi Demi episode before, Demi Demi is best known for saying, tough times never last, only tough people last. And he said millions and millions of people watching this little video that he did. But every day almost, certainly a good number of times a week, he releases other pieces of advice and motivational messages for people to listen to. And he does it on TikTok, whatever you want. And he does it on YouTube as well. And so that's where I've taken these ones from. But he is an interesting character. That is, he has an extremely difficult accent to follow sometimes. And I've got to be honest, today's episode has been one of the toughest ones that I've put together because I have had to listen to these many times to derive what is actually being said. I do get a kind of a transcription through YouTube of it, but this is this is the internet. The technology has come up with this transcription. It's not something that Demi Demi himself has written. And maybe it's just my Scottish ear, but I find his accent particularly difficult to listen to. But his messages are really strong, and he's a great laugh, and I really do enjoy sharing them with you, or at least resharing them with you, because they are all Demi Demi's content, really. But this is a show I like to do once per season, and today I've got 3 new ones for you. And the first one is don't tell people what you are doing until it is time. So, are you ready? Then listen to this attentively.
Listen to this attentively. Don't tell people what you are doing until it's done. A premature achievement invite evil spirit. Some of you, your downfall is because you're talking too much. Some of you, your downfall is because you're talking unnecessary information to the wrong people. Don't tell people what you are doing until it's done. I'm gonna buy a car. I'm going to oversee. I apply for this and this. Don't tell people what you are doing until it's done. That's the problem. Some of you, your downfall is because you're talking too much. You're talking unnecessary information. Some power. Some Don't tell people what you are doing until it's done. A premature achievement invite evil spirit. Some power.
So So there you are. That's Demi Demi. And if you haven't heard one of these shows before, yes, that is what you're to expect for another 2 of these things. I think he's got some great lessons here, although, as I say, I like to reiterate what he's saying for clarity, because it's a strong accent that we're hearing. And what he's saying within this, and as I say, I do spend quite a lot of time trying to derive exactly what he's saying, but the words he just spoke there were, don't tell people what you're doing until it is time. A premature achievement invites evil spirit. Some of you, your downfall is because you're talking too much. Some of you, your downfall is because you're talking unnecessary information to the wrong people. Don't tell people what you're doing until it is time. Some of you, your downfall is because you're talking too much. You're talking unnecessary information. The power. Don't tell people what you're doing until you start. A premature achievement invites disrespect. The power. And this is another valuable lesson. His point being, don't tell anyone what you're doing, I think, until it's done. He does mention until you've started, which I don't think is consistent in what he's saying there. I think what his point is don't tell anyone what you're doing until it's done. Outside energy can throw off your goals is another point. He has noticed in his world that there are people out there that have negative intentions and don't want you to succeed, and they will wish you harm, and that in itself can actually affect the outcome of your situation. That's his point there. But when I was researching this episode, there's a little bit more to that as well. I came across this information from Dr. Peter M. Vishton, PhD, and he says that the first rule of accomplishing goals is not to tell anyone about them, which I thought was very interesting. He performed a study of cognitive neuroscience and noted that when you set a challenging long-term goal for yourself, that the fewer people that you tell, the greater your chances are of actually achieving that goal, which is, to me, as a productivity guy, I found absolutely fascinating. Many people believe, in fact, that a public declaration will increase the likelihood that you'll accomplish the chosen goal. But Dr. Vishton, he disagrees. He says the reason why telling people about your goal is a problem is that when they give you positive support, you get a little bit of that sense of accomplishment, and that it basically amounts to a pleasurable dopamine boost. And he says that there's nothing as inherently satisfying as setting and achieving goals. So by all means, set goals and chase them. But if you want to improve your chances of achieving them, let it be a surprise to your friends, unless by telling them they can provide you with the proper support and accountability. So bear that in mind too the next time that you decide to make a move. Rather than make a goal or set a goal, rather than motivating you to succeed, telling people about what your next big idea is could instantly rob you of your motivation. It's not Demi's point. His point is that there are negative people in the world and they will try to disrupt what you're doing, and it's a very well made. But it's another point worth making. As I say, it came up in my research and I found it really quite interesting. Next one up here from Demi. His point here is stay on your lane.
It doesn't mean if they have more followers than you, they are better than you. Stay on your lane. That's why you see there's no competition with Woolworth. Woolworth does not reduce their price just to compete with other retail. The quality will always be quality. That's why people are doing scary things just to get followers. That's why people are destroying their dignity just because they want to be recognized. Stay on your lane. There's no competition for Woolworth. Woolworth does not reduce their price just to accommodate or maybe to compete with other retail. Stay on your lane. They are destroying their identity. They are destroying their dignity just because somebody wants to see himself having 15 million likes or views or followers. Stay on your lane. Quality will always be a quality. Some power. Some power.
And this was a tough one, folks. Oh my God, I listened to this. It's got to be 30 times I listened to it. But I think I figured out what he's saying here in his example. A lot of it I could follow, but I didn't know what the company example he was given was, and I have figured it out. So here is what I believe he is saying in that one. He's saying stay on your lane. I would say stay in your lane. He says stay on your lane. And this is his words that I like to give rather than my interpretation of them. I'd like to do this first. It doesn't mean if they have more followers than you that they're better than you. Stay on your lane. That's why you see there's no competition with Hoover. It's Hoover he's saying. I'm certain it's Hoover. Hoover does not reduce their price just to compete with others. The quality will always be quality. That's why people are doing scary things. That's okay, follow us. That's why people are destroying their dignity just because they want to be recognised. Stay on your lane. There is no competition for Hoover. Hoover does not reduce their price just to accommodate or maybe to compete with other things. Stay on your lane. That destroyed either the identity, they are destroying their dignity just because somebody wants to see himself having 15 million likes or views or followers. Stay on your lane. Quality will always be quality. The power. That really took me longer than you'd think, folks, to get that one down. But that is pretty much what he is saying there, and it's a good point. It's an interesting point, and he's obviously talking about it from a YouTuber, TikToker point of view. He's trying to stay true to what he wants to do and deliver his daily motivational messages and not be distracted by these other people who are getting bigger and bigger numbers than him, because he's not willing to lose his dignity while delivering what he's doing, even though he does it in kind of a silly but very unique way. Stay on your lane, of course, means the way I would probably know it in my world is stay on target, stay focused or on track when there are distractions or there's danger about. Don't let what other people are doing divert you from your own goals and dreams and way of doing things. If you know what's most important to you, you can stay in your lane and achieve great things. Don't be distracted by other people's supposed successes and then change your plans, derail yourself by trying to do what someone else is doing. Focus on doing the best that you can. And that's his second point, stay on your lane. Next up is the final one for today, and it's some rejections in life are a blessing.
Listen to this. Listen to this attentively. Some rejection in life are blessing in disguise. Some rejection in life are pushing us to our destiny. Listen to this attentively. Allow people to reject you in life. Allow people to throw themselves, and leave you because they are pushing you to your destiny. Benny McCarthy was rejected and fired by Amazulu FC. Today was appointed, or now he was appointed as a striker coach for Man United. In England, he's eating the pound. He's coaching one of the greatest players in the world. That's how rejection are pushing us in life. Allow people to reject you so that you can reach your destiny. Today is busy with pound there. They can't even afford him now because now he's focusing on the pound. Some power.
And there you go. Your ears probably tuned in now to what's getting said. And it's a very, very good point. A very good point. Some rejections, this is my transcription of what he's saying. Some rejections in life are a blessing in disguise. Some rejections in life are pushing us to our destiny. Listen to this attentively. Allow people to reject you in life. Allow people to hold back themselves and leave you because they are pushing you to your destiny. Benny McCarthy was rejected and fired by Amazulu FC. Today was appointed as striker coach for Man United. In England, he's eating the pound. That's what he's saying. He is coaching one of the greatest players in the world. That's how rejection are pushing us in life. Allow people to reject you so that you can reach your destiny today. They can't even afford him now because now he is focusing on the pound, the power, the power. Great point. You might think that rejection means that you're not good enough, but rejection can mean that you're better than whatever or whoever has rejected you. And rejection is just another word for redirection. There's quotes out there about that one, but it's a fairly good way of looking at it, because it's not rejection that puts you down, it's the way you handle it. You can either get discouraged or think that something is wrong with you, or you can believe that it's a blessing in disguise, preparing you for something bigger than what you wanted for yourself. And I'm obviously making this point because this is a podcast aimed at creative people. And rejection, certainly in the world that I work in, I've tried to work in filmmaking wise, has been thick and fast. It's fueled a number of episodes of this. I'll get on to that point in a minute. But it's just what life is like here. There's nobody is standing there with a whole vat of money asking me to direct a film for them, for example. And I have tried a number of times. But each time I don't get somewhere, I think sometimes I take the hit and I feel it, and other times I go, you know what, I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use that as fuel to achieve bigger and better things. And that's kind of one of the points I'm going to come up with now. I've got, I think, 10 or 11 or maybe 12 points here of why rejection is not a bad thing. First one is when you're rejected, it helps you to realize that you're not perfect. Second is it sometimes gives you a much needed reality check. If you think you're running with things and everything's going well, sometimes that rejection is going to put you on the back foot and make you actually reassess things. And hard times push you to fight for what you want. That's my kind of point from earlier. Rejection makes you want to prove people wrong. It makes you aggressive in a good way. Sylvester Stallone's got a quote with this. He says, "I take rejection as someone blowing a bugle in my ear to wake me up and get going rather than to retreat." And that is definitely a good headspace to have with this. Another thing is that it warms you up for the idea of rejection after taking away the fear of it, if that makes sense. So you are more likely to move ahead after rejection, after several rejections, than without fear. Than if everything was going well and then you suddenly hit a rejection, then that could completely stop you. Another point would be you learn to take feedback seriously. You realize that you cannot please everyone. That's something I learned a long time ago. Another one is hardships teach you the importance of improvement and how it's a process that continues throughout life. I mean, I'm at a stage in my life now where I've had probably at least the way I remember it, at least as much rejection as I've had successes. So I suppose it does limit me in what I'm willing to spend my time on, but I don't get upset by it as much because, frankly, I go into things expecting for my ideas or my projects to be rejected. It's just a point that I reach. I mean, I stopped applying for funding 12 years ago, something like that, 13 years ago, because I knew I wasn't going to get it. I mean, they told me I wasn't going to get it. I've talked about that in a number of episodes. So I value my time more than filling in a form that I know I'm going to get rejected from. It's kind of slightly off point, but I've learned from it, is the point. Anyway, another thing, hardships teach you the importance of improvement. And oh yeah, that's the one I've just read. Hardships teach you the importance of improvement and how it's a process that continues through life. I am still improving myself, even though I cease to seek funding. I'm still trying to do things better and better. The short film I've just done, I've tried to make it better. I'm still got my struggles with it. I've still got my problems with it. I've still got things I'm learning from it. But I didn't let my constant rejection that I've had stop me from shooting it. Second last thing I've got here is rejection introduces you to your true friends. Yeah, so your true friends will stand by you even though you're not doing so well, is the point there one. And the last one I've got on the list here is you learn the art of patience. And I think I'm definitely more patient now than I used to be. That helps being a freelancer that has to sit not getting work sometimes, and I have to have the faith that somewhere down the line I will get work. But yeah, you learn the art of patience. That's the last I have on my list here. Rejection obviously makes you a stronger person as well. It changes you and teaches you not to be afraid of fear. It makes you a lot more humble as well. In fact, studies reveal that human beings don't become stronger when everything they're doing is fine for them. They get stronger when they deal with unpredictable situations. And I suppose the final point I should make is that rejection teaches you that the only approval you really need is your own. And once you have that, nothing else matters. I'll link to all of Demi Demi's YouTube channel specific links in the show notes if I can get that sentence to work. So check out the show notes, and you'll get full show notes on Film Pro Productivity, the official site only, filmproproductivity.com. But I'll probably put these little links into the show notes that go along with the media host as well. So they should be on like iTunes or whatever you're listening to this on. But yeah, I hope you've got something out of this. I really enjoy doing the Demi Demi episodes. I tend to get very good feedback about them, but at the moment I'm not getting too much feedback from anyone. I wonder, is anyone out there? Is anyone listening? I'm getting a little bit on social media, but it's really next to nothing. Just a note on social media is I'm going to go and take another social media break at the end of this month. This is going out in February the 11th, I think it is. This is going out on. So the end of this month, I'm going to go off social media for another month or two. I'll probably jump back on to talk about the short film that I'm working on, because there's a lot of people kind of invested sort of time and money, some of them in it. And so I'll keep some things going out on that, but I won't be on regular social media. And please remember as well that you can join me on YouTube now. The episodes are going out twice per week on Wednesday nights and Saturday nights, and it's basically the back episodes that are out there, and they're scheduled to go out to like the middle of 2024, but there's content there going out. It's really easy to access and it's free to everyone. I will be hiring somebody to help me promote that stuff at some point, but that's not happening right now. I am on that. I am actively looking for somebody to help me with it. So yeah, there will be a big push on it somewhere down the line, but please check it out. Just look up Film Pro Productivity on YouTube and I'm sure you'll find it, but I'll put a link in the show notes, obviously. Now, in next week's show, I'll be talking about, I haven't written this episode yet, but I believe I'll be talking about some, maybe not all, but some of the lessons that I've learned so far in doing a creative project in 2023. Yes, I'll be talking about lessons learned while filming my short festive horror film, The Traveller. I've learned a few things. I've had a few things confirmed for me, and I think there's probably an episode worth in it that I'm going to try and make broad enough that anyone can listen and learn from it rather than be too specific on filmmakers. But we'll see how that one turns out. But yeah, remind and check out that YouTube channel. But for now, I'm going to end with some words from, not from Demi Demi this time, but from Albert Schweitzer, who said, "Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you're doing, you will be successful." Now take control of your own destiny, keep on shooting, and join me next time on Film Pro Productivity and Success. The music that you can hear right now is Adventures by Ehimitsu, and the exec producer on this season is Christopher McPhillips. You can view the show notes for this episode, the full show notes, only on the official website, filmproproductivity.com. But you can follow my personal account on Twitter and Instagram at fight_director, or follow the show itself on Twitter at filmproprodpod, or on Facebook at filmproproductivity. Please continue to support the show by subscribing, spreading the word, and leaving an awesome review.